Now, what's the most important thing when it comes to winning in the beautiful game? Passion, heart, desire, strong story writing? No, a ton of money. And that's why today, if I want to win, I'm making sure I've got deep pockets. We are letting £1 billion decide my FC 25 team. We've taken over the mighty Wimbledon, and we're going to try and rise from League 2 all the way to the summit of the Premier League in just 4 seasons. Let's get this video to 7k likes for some more FC 25 content on the channel. And if you do go on to enjoy, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, as you can see in the budget right now, the amount that we're allowed to spend is £1 million, but that is about to change significantly. Change that budget, cause that needs an extra zero and that, fam. It's voila, I am not an intelligent man. Guys, I've tried to change the budget from 1 million to £1 billion by adding one more zero. Am I beyond saving? Now though, as you can see, that current budget is sat at a nice £1 billion. Ignore the total there, it's fine. And don't question where this came from. It was legal money laundering. It's time though to improve this starting 11, okay? We need to bring in 11 new players that are gonna guide Wimbledon to glory. And I know exactly where to start. Look, Wimbledon, yeah, you might want to invest in some scouts. Because how are you telling me that they don't know any information about Harold Kane? What are we doing here? He's literally labeled as one of the world's best. The scouts don't have a TNT Sports subscription. It's a long day. They can't watch the Bundesliga. They're sat at home with Freeview and Setanta Sports, and that's still showing games from 2007. You may have been able to guess Harold Kane is in fact the first person. Harry, listen, brother, you were just in London, innit? You went to Germany. You're just coming back. You still have the house, probably, that you were living in before. If Harold isn't too keen on the idea, I'm gonna make him, all right, by criminal means. We're gonna have to do some on-the-move installing of software. Harold Kane has decided that, you know what, he wants to go to Wimbledon. I've just realized, by the way, we're not gonna win anything now. Why have I done this? Why is the first player that I brought in gonna completely derail the one achievement of this entire video? Harold, for what it's worth, mate, I can give you 20 mil. I haven't even got to this point yet. We're on company. Not like that. We're not on top of... I'd need a step ladder if I wanted to be on top of his head. No, let's just keep it moving. Vincent, mate, what I'm trying to say is I've got £1 billion and you can have a decent chunk of it. We're going to offer him a transfer fee. We're not going to go with 10. I don't really want the sexual tension to go too high there in the top right corner. So instead, we're going to give them 100 mil, which, you know, 30-year-old Harry Kane, he's not exactly over the hill or anything. I personally think this is a decent offer. We're going straight in with 100 mil. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, 152 is a lot. How's the tension gone up that high already? Right, we're gonna counter this. I'm gonna give you 130 million on the dot, and as a player swap, you can also have a replacement striker. They can have Josh Kelly. I'll be so real, probably won't use this man during the course of the save. But Vincent Kompany's happy with that. Here we go. Harry's in the room. Interestingly enough, this one isn't being held in the cafeteria or the restaurant setting like you sometimes get with negotiations in this game. That's because Harold can't be seen around silverware really of any kind. I'll be honest, Harold, you probably will be a crucial first team player. We'll give you a 3-year contract. I don't really want to have to negotiate. Okay, he wants 1 year. Nah, never mind. You know what? I'm going to counter that. I'm giving you 2, Harry, mate. Let's meet in the middle. Come on. There we go. Harry's fine with that. We're disregarding a release clause. He wants 95k. Does he understand what kind of shit we're running over here? Brother, it's absolutely fine. You can have a lot more than that. I mean, I'm not going to complain. 95k is nothing, really, for what Harry Kane should be on. And Harry Kane, mate, he's through the door. That's a first signing of the Wimbledon 1 billion project. Harold, boss, you're in. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Harry walks through the doors of an extremely run-down, flooded about 2 weeks ago, Wimbledon gym. He's gone from Bayern Munich's to a set of 6 dumbbells that have to get shared between everybody. The £1 billion investment from the board is solely going on players. None of it is being spent on infrastructure whatsoever. The club's jackets being made by Suzuki. Don't even ask how that's possible. That is £130 million spent though. We got a B rating on that one. Okay, that's all right, you know, I'll take that. Hold on a second. This is an opportunity to get a little bit Brexit up in here.
We need a complete change of culture.
So I'm keeping the vibe going with English players. Carlo Ancelotti did a little bit more than raise an eyebrow when he realised that I wanted Jude Bellingham. But Wimbledon have got those sorts of funds now. I'm going to start with 150 mil here because obviously he's a lot younger. Jude's got potential to grow to like 94 in game. He's the cover star, for fuck's sake. That's like at least 20% tax on top. So we're going straight in 150 mil. All right, we're negotiating. The additional fees has come up. What we saying? Guys, they want 231 million. If I did that, I'd only have 660 mil left to play with after. That's definitely not the maths at all. Let's go with 181 million, okay? We're kind of meeting in the middle a little bit here. Oh, God, the tension's high, guys. I'm going to have to counter this again. Carlo's fuming, all right? He's come from Spain to southwest London. We didn't even give him a business class flight, but we're going to counter this one more time because I've got to try and get cheeky here, I'm afraid. We're going to go with 215 million, Carlo. You're gonna have to take it or you're gonna have to leave it. We're submitting it. I've not got time in this video to have to make this bid again in 2 weeks from now. We've got a deal, lads. After a sensational first season at Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham could be on his way to Wimbledon. Jesus Christ, that's a downgrade. Here we go, lads. Jude Bellingham's entering the room and the female demographic of this video just went up by 75%. I've got to get some diversity involved in the viewership. I hope you understand. Honestly, mate, you can have whatever wage you want. I will literally give you 200k. Harry Kane wanted a criminally low amount, but I'm concerned if I give him a criminally low amount here, Jude, he's just going to walk away. So I'm going to give him a 600k signing on bonus. It's definitely lower than it should be, but given what the AI did with Kane, I reckon we can get away with it. That's a reasonable offer. Jude, welcome to Wimbledon. Now, should we have spent a third of our overall cash on just 2 players? Probably not.
But we lived the dream.
And that's why we're going to go in for a cheap bargain option in between the sticks. Jan Sommer's like 87 rated in game playing for Lombardio, Inter Milan, Miami.com, whatever they're called in game. He's 35, so I am taking a little bit of a risk here of him retiring during the course of the 4 seasons. The only chance that he stays alive during this period is the fact that he's a goalkeeper. But either way, I reckon I could get him for a stupidly small amount of money. So with that in mind, I'm going to delegate to buy him yet, and we're going to literally go in for £10 million, all right? Don't go any higher than 20, and that should definitely keep the spending down a little bit. That cheap spending, though, stops right here. Because it's time to go in for one of my favorite players out in the world right now, I'm not gonna lie. I would consider doing my other ACL just to bring Florian Vers to Liverpool one day. And we're hopefully gonna bring him to Wimbledon one day as we sit down with a co-op version of Xabi Alonso. Now, Florian Vers is about 87, 88 rated at the start of the game. His potential is so high. He helped Bayer Leverkusen to an invincible season in the Bundesliga, and therefore he's going to be a lot of money. This is their main man. We're going to offer a transfer. We're going to start with 120 mil. They want 170. Lads, Xabi, please, just join the coaching staff or something instead. You don't want to be at Leverkusen. He definitely does. We're going to try 140. 140 Xabi slapped his cock on the table. So what are we saying? 155. You know what? I can counter it again. I'm going lower. I'm going 150. Bang on the dot. Xabi, the cock's still on the table. I'm not going to, I haven't put it away yet. Xabi's happy. All right, Florian Vers could be the next name on the team list. And indeed, he's going to be. We're in the restaurant. We got the salt and pepper out. 3 white men. That's all the seasoning you need. Florian, take a seat. They done him dirty with that fade. Honestly, I'm tempted to kick him out of negotiations already. You don't need to be at a restaurant. We can do these negotiations at the barbers if you require, boss. 60k as a wage is nothing. Brother, you can have that immediately. Florian, welcome to Wimbledon. Here he is in his new suit. Jude Bellingham welcomes him to the club. We've got Wonder Kids FC going on here. That takes our spending now up to 495 million without the Sommer signing. With him, it's just over half of our money. So we've got to get a little bit cheaper now with the deals because we've burnt through 50% of our cash now. But first of all, let's spend like 85 million on a bag of basmati. I already know, by the way, Declan Rice is going to be excited to join Wimbledon. Aye, Jude's man's in South London, you know. It's going to be a Mazzolini, cuz. Worth noting, if we're spending like 90 mil, for example, here, we're up to 600 mil in total. We're going to have to source the rest of the side, our entire back line, and our wingers with just 400 million pounds. Things are going to get techie soon. But 80 million pounds, we'll submit that as a first offer. He says he's wasted his... Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a real concern. We're pulling out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mikel Arteta has pulled out. And he's also left the negotiations as well. We're going to have to come back in for Declan Rice. I can't say that sentence really after the pull-out joke. Now, those are moves for some slightly cheaper options. First of all, in between the sticks, Jan Sommer. I mentioned him earlier. We've agreed a fee of 10 million pounds for the Interman. Next up, Rafinha, who will play on either side of the wing. We picked him up for 49.8 million pounds, which is still cheap, to be fair, in comparison to the average that we need to hit for each player. And then at right back, a man who doesn't even like football. Hopefully, he'll like Wimbledon. It's Benjamin White, who we've agreed to sign for 46 million pounds. The amount that we've spent now on the screen, we still need to bring in quite a few more players. But before we wrap up all the signings here and finish and complete this starting 11, it's time to inject a little bit of youth into the side. And what better way to do that than with potentially the world's greatest in the future? A man that tore apart the Euros whilst taking a break from his religious education homework. I have no idea what to bid for here because I'm being told that he's not worth the craziest amount, but at the same time, he is a 16-year-old that's 81 rated and has the best potential in the game. So I feel like he should be worth a lot. I'm gonna go in with 50 mil first because apparently it should be less than that. And you know what? Just to sweeten the deal, I'll give you my best up-and-coming winger to replace him. Do you know what I'm saying? Who could turn down Aaron Sasu, bruv?
Sign the contract, big boy.
They only want 58.2. Honestly, blam. Have that. That is a bargain. Hasn't he got a £1 billion release clause in real life or something? And there you go. With that, Lamine Yamal is now a Wimbledon player as well. He arrives through the double doors. He's greeted by our physio or saying, I'm late for the meeting. That's actually true to real life, to be honest with you. He's getting put through his paces, and Lamine Yamal adds to what is actually kind of quite a young squad already, which is good because these guys are going to be hitting their potentials when we're in the Premier League, which is obviously going to be the hardest challenge of this entire video. And now I can reveal the rest of the signings to you as well. At left back, we have got one of the probably best technical defenders that I've seen in a long time. A man that's flourished under Pep Guardiola since joining. It's Joško Gvardiol. The Croat's going to be playing at left back. We've signed him for £65 million. An absolutely massive signing at centre back comes in the form of a man who's only just joined the Premier League. Matthijs de Ligt has jumped ship away from Manchester United already. He's seen that his centre back partner is only 5'1", and he said, hold on a second, let me go over to Wimbledon instead. He's joining for a pretty hefty amount though, 84 mil to be our main man at centre back. Finally, we get our man at defensive midfield as well. After being laughed out of the room by Mikel Arteta and his Lego piece head, Declan Rice, the long grain man himself, is a Wimbledon player as well. He is going to be massive at the heart of our midfield, a serious defensive enforcer and secret undercover police officer. And finally, our final addition to this £1 billion team, our final centre-back. And continuing an accidental Brexit theme here, we're once again returning with an English player. It is Fikayo Tomori, with a final centre-back to partner Matthijs de Ligt. He can grow to 87 overall in games, so he should be that by the time we're in the Premier League, which is a formidable centre-back partnership. We actually have managed to do this with about £28 million to spare. We could have gone a little bit more crazy maybe on one of the wingers, maybe that'll come back to bite us, but either way, Tomori is in and the starting 11 is complete. Fikayo in for £60 million. Let's take a look at the squad. So here it is, the completed starting 11. In between the sticks, we have got veteran goalkeeper from Switzerland, Jan Sommer, regular international hero. In front of him, a back line of Ben White, Fikayo Tomori, Matthijs de Ligt, and Joško Gvardiol. Then our midfield is strong. It's young as well, so it's going to be very, very quality by the time we get to the Prem. We've got Jude Bellingham, who can grow to 94, Florian Vers, who gets to 92, and Declan Rice, who sits at 87 right now. The front line could be a little bit better right now. Rafinha, Harry, Kane, and Yamal. But by the time Yamal hits his potential, this will be dynamite. Now, though, we're going to sim 4 seasons. I'll show you how each one goes, and we'll see whether this team can make it to the top of the Premier League. I'm not being funny, lads. How the fuck have we lost to Port Vale? The season is done. Our campaign is done. Our first season of this experiment. We're in League 2, obviously. It will come as no surprise that we've absolutely battered everybody. After 46 games in League 2, we have scored and accumulated 113 points. Plus 62 goal difference is kind of disappointing, and losing 3 games is borderline criminal in this division. It's no real surprise. Top of the league. Let's take a look at how the players did. So stats-wise, Jan Sommer played the most games, 61 in total. How did we do actually in the other time? I mean, he only played 2 games in the FA Cup and 3 in the Carabao Cup, so I'm guessing we actually didn't do that well, to be honest, in the cup competitions. But either way, he kept 17 clean sheets. Harry Kane with 35 goals in all competitions, less than he'd get in the Bundesliga. So the Bundesliga is easier than League 2. That is scientific. 31 goals for Jude Bellingham, 21 for Rafinha. We've got 12 for Florian Vers, and 11 for Joško Gvardiol. And then if you want the top assist maker, it's Rafinha with 13, then Kane and Bellingham in double figures. But genuinely speaking, I expected a little bit better. I mean, the average ratings are crazy, to be fair. Either way, it's time to move on. We've been promoted. Let's go to the 3rd tier of English football. Season 2 is now done. Our campaign in League 1 is now finished, and we have completed a season almost invincible. We've actually done better in League 1 than we did in League 2. I'm assuming that's because of a few of the younger players in the squad have got a little bit better. The likes of Lamine Yamal, Florian Vers, Jude Bellingham, and now closer to their potential. The squad overall is a little bit better. That might even out when some older players start getting, well, too old. But 123 points, absolutely absolutely crazy. Only one defeat, 113 goals scored. Beating the likes of Plymouth Argyle, Pieface is fuming. We managed to make it to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, being defeated only by Manchester City at home, a 2-1 defeat there. Meanwhile, in the Carabao Cup, we went out in the quarterfinals to Bolton, 4-1 on penalties. An absolute disgrace here for the £1 billion team. £1 billion bottle jobs, honestly. And it is now time to jump into season number 3, but I'm going to show you how good the players are right now going into the championship season. Yeah, I can't lie, guys, this squad is looking tasty. Harry Kane's gone down actually by 2, so he's now 88 rated. Definitely one to watch out for in terms of overall decreasing. Same for Jan Sommer down at 82. We knew what we were doing when we got a goalkeeper so cheap. But the likes of Lamine Yamal at 84. Bellingham now at 92. Verts and Rice 90. Gvardiol and Rafinha at 86. This is a well-balanced team. They've just got to survive 2 more seasons. So I'm looking at you, brother. Season 3's done. We go again. This time in the championship, and things were not as easy this time around. We are promoted as champions to the Premier League. We're in the promised land, but it's only by 4 points. We take the title by 3 over Ipswich and a promotion place over Burnley by 4. 93 points in total, 9 losses during the course of the season. With a squad like this is outrageous. I can only imagine Jan Sommer's fallen off a little bit of a cliff here. And yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of right on that one. Jan is only 79 rated now. He's 38 years of age. He's only going to get worse. So clearly not the greatest bit of transfer negotiating from me. His average rating is appalling. But the rest of the squad absolutely slaps. Really expected a little bit more from Lamine Yamal. He's still 19. With 94 potential, I'm hoping by the end of next season, we might just be squeaking towards the 90s. Our top scorer for the season, Rafinha. Harry Kane has been pushed to the side. Harold may have broken his silverware curse, but now that we're actually getting to the big leagues, he's not performing as much. 28 goals for Rafinha, 15 for Bellingham and Kane apiece, and the most assists go to Jude Bellingham, 11 in total. Now, let's jump into the Premier League and see how we do. We've got 1 season to win the league. How are we going to get on? And this is it then, the end of season number 4. We've simmed all the way to June of 2028. Now it's time to see how this team can do in the Premier League. There's some real stars in it, the likes of Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, Florian Vers, a future Ballon d'Or winner surely in Lamine Yamal, and surely these lot have come together to at least qualify for European competition, if not win it all. Yeah, it's not looking as good. Guys, we finished 9th. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't what I expected from today's proceedings. 9th in the Premier League on 58 points. We stink. Brighton finished 3rd. Who have Brighton spent £1 billion on? They've probably bought like a Norwegian 18-year-old for £4 million, and he's turned out to win the Ballon d'Or. Either way, this is a crazy table, actually, the more I look at it. This is ridiculous. Chelsea have won the league on 91 points. Man City have finished 2nd, so the 115 Chargers have not hit. Brighton in 3rd, then Liverpool and United. United being as high as 5th is probably the most surprising thing here. And that really does prove, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, that if you throw £1 billion at a project, you will simply finish 9th. Chelsea did it, and now we have as well. I can't believe we've been this poor. I'm not gonna lie, finishing just above Spurs, Everton, and Palace. And for those that want to see the rest of the table, we've got Leicester, Forest, West Ham, Fulham, Ipswich survive, with Wolves, Bournemouth, and Sheffield United relegated. So no crazy surprises really in terms of the teams that are here. That's a shocker. Have we won any silverware? Well, obviously we've won each division as we've been promoted, but we haven't won a single major tournament during the course of this. Well, until now, we have won the FA Cup. Okay, that's all right. That's at least something. A 3-2 victory against Manchester City in the final is not bad. A bit of a stinker of a performance as a team. I can't lie. Let's see if there were any individual standouts. As I mentioned, Jan Sommer, probably part of the problem, really, in terms of getting worse. 75 rated now. And obviously the fact that there's not that much depth beyond, you know, the guys that we brought in terms of a starting 11. If any of those ended up out injured, then Miles Hippolyte here is playing. Great name, but not a great footballer. In terms of the good players, though, Harry Kane, the best of the bunch in terms of goal scoring. I don't actually know what that symbol means next to him. Does that mean he's suspended? Does that mean he's banned? Has he been doping? Is that the only way he's ended up getting silverware in his career? Either way, 34 years of age, 82 rated, 20 goals in all comps, 15 in the league. Then Rafinha got 16, Bellingham and Yamal with 14. Lamine Yamal is now 86, so still a lot of room for him to get to his 94 potential. He's still 8 away. It's kind of surprising by 20. I thought he'd be a little bit closer by now. If we're talking assists, though, it's Jude Bellingham who's got the most with 11, and then Rafinha with 10. Florian Vers a creative force, as is Ben White down the right-hand side. And generally, in terms of overall rating, Jude Bellingham, it's no surprise, is the best player in the team. He's 93 rated at 24. Declan Rice and Vert still 89. Gvardiol's actually gone above and beyond his potential in in game. He's now 89. Same for Rafinha as well, who also doesn't have this potential, but has ended up getting to 88 through obviously good performances earlier on in the save. And it's Ben White, De Ligt, Yamal, Fikayo Tomori at 84, and then Kane at 82, and Jan Sommer at 75. Either way, just 9th in the league then in this 4-season challenge. But what will £1 billion get me? Not even Conference League football. That's the answer to the question, and Todd Bowley could have told you that last year. But could you do better? Feel free to try this at home, see what team you build. If you do this, then make sure to send me the team over on Insta, on TikTok, on Twitter, wherever you want to. You can follow me on all of those platforms. It's at the official FNG. If you enjoyed this video though, feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also support me by becoming a member like the guys on the screen. Shout out to all of you dons. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.